Yeah, hello, welcome back. So, my name is Grace, that lady that started her business with 20,000 naira. Yeah. So, I'm going to talk about financial discipline, what helped me when I started my business with 20,000 naira, and it's still helping me right now. Yeah. So, there are some things, there were some financial principles I followed, and one of it is being accountable. Normally, as a person, I am an accountable person naturally, but I also put that into my business, even into my finances, whether it's a personal finance or a business finance. Yeah. So any money I earned from the business, that when I sell any profit or the money that came in fact, there was no profit because I was not even counting profit from the beginning. So any money that came back from the business, what I did was for me to save. And that was why immediately after I got the CAC, the next thing I got was to walk into the bank and open a business account. Um, and every dime kobo from 10 naira, from 100 naira. All right. So every, even if it's 100 naira, yes, sometimes I could spend 200 naira going to the bank because I want to save 100 naira. So, but I needed all of those money. In fact, at that time, I didn't even understand that financial statements things. No, all I wanted was just to see those money. I was just saving them. And sometimes, if when I now realize, oh no, I was spending much on transport and it wasn't really wise. So I now did decide to get like a purse where I was, if somebody's buy Yaji, then the Yaji was like 200. Buy Yaji 200, I'll put it down and all of that. So anytime I'm going into town, I go through the bank and I deposit the money. Yeah. So I kept doing all of that. So I was accountable. Accountability is not just a virtue that you should have. In fact, it's a virtue that you should have both personally and as a business owner, a small business owner. Yeah. Even if you're selling kose or you're selling what have you, even you're selling the biggest thing like gold. Yeah, accountability is quite good, financial accountability. So I was writing, I think I keep talking about the red book. I had this red book that had all of this information. I was writing down who bought what. If someone has not paid for that thing, I write the dates, then I write how much that person is owing. Yeah. Aside also the fact I also got a financial app where I also issue receipt. And if you have not finished paying for that particular product or item, there is also a place I put that, and then I put what is left for you to balance. So, in fact, up to now, that financial this the app is still in my phone, even though I don't use them right now, but it's still on the phone that I can go back as far as 2018, 2019, and I can get any financial statement I want to get out. So accountability was one. Another thing I also did as a principle was I never bought anything the business could not afford at that moment. If there is anything, let's assume we have 20,000 naira in the account, yeah? Me and the account, we get 80,000, yes, because then it was a business name. So if it was 20,000 naira in the account and there was something that I felt that I needed to buy for, let's say, 10,000, I wasn't going to buy it. You could say, no, you still have 10,000 to work with, but then I was like, no. What I do is I look at, is this something I could still continue my business with? Like, if I don't buy, if it's the spend, right? And I feel I needed to buy the spend for the business. And I could still be having 10,000 naira left. What I do is to check if the business could do without it. Now, again, to take note, one thing I did was to remove myself from the business, which is not normal because any business person who has a business name, especially a business name, you and your business are one. it is in CAC, it is in limited liability, like the RC number you see over there, that you and your business are separated even by law. But by law, you and your business are one if it's a business name. Yeah. So, but one thing I also did was to remove myself from early up to now. So now it makes it quite easy for me. So me and my business were in same. I treated the business as an individual. The only thing is the business was borrowing my brain to function. So I kind of sit down and I think for the business. And I'm like, okay, if this pen is actually important for the business, yes, but then can the business at this stage do without this pen? If yes, then I don't buy the pen. So anything the business could not afford at that time, I never did. And I have shared so many incidences where I needed to rent. Yes, funny enough, the business had, let's say, 100,000 at that time, and to rent a shop was like 30,000. But I never took that offer. And that was why I continued doing the business at home. And I also looked forward for an avenue where I would be able to get a place that I don't need to pay money, but I can still use and run my business. And one of the reasons why I found myself in Technology Incubation Center, that is the reason. So you can take advantage of Technology Incubation Center around the globe, like around Nigeria. We have it in every state. One beautiful thing is when you get admitted, you spend 3 years without paying for the rent. After 3 years, you can renew your stay there by you paying for it at a discounted rate. I wasn't admitted, but then I was able to work with someone who had a unit, and he gave me a small place. From a small place into few months, with the speed I was working with in the business, I was introduced into another building where we are right now. And though we're paying rent from even day one, but then it helped me start off on a good pace, and I was able to now I can rent. Yeah. And even up to now on our financial statement, when we look at the money we spend on rent, it's a very small percentage. It must be a very, very, very minute percentage of your entire income. So whatever it is you're spending on, should be the percentage should be very, very small. Yeah. So another thing again that I also never did was to carry the financial the business money and spend it on myself. I had needs. I had family who also were looking up to me since I was in business, and they wanted help from me. But all I could do, if personally I don't have money, I don't have money, and I try to make you understand that if you don't, I'll say, talk God, you shall know say I no go get this money. That's the very funny enough. I was only rich in product because one naira that comes goes back into the product. So I never had the, in fact, was it last year or this year? We're not talking about, okay, no, we need to, in fact, early this year, the talking, because every money that comes in, we put it back into the business. And yes, that's another principle. I was putting every kobo that I got from the business back. I was putting in both profits. In fact, so I never differentiated anything, because all that was in my head was I needed the business to grow, to survive. So I did everything. I made a whole lot of sacrifices for it to survive. Few years down the line, I was able to now start paying myself. Paying yourself is ideal from even day one. You can just start paying yourself small, small. But I chose not to. The time I felt okay, I could start collecting was when we started hiring. I started hiring staff, and I now started considering, oh, okay, since I'm also a staff and I needed to be paid. Yeah. But then officially, I now started collecting my pay. Funny enough, I used to even spend it. It's only sometimes if the business needed it at that time, I was okay, I'm borrowing the office and the office must pay me back, and it does pay me back. Yeah. So those were, I did a whole lot of sacrifices. I put in money back into the business, and I still do. And as I was saying, it's this year that we're looking at, okay, no, let's even know it in figures. How much is the business making? Yes, the business is making money, yeah, but let's now know what profit margin are we working on. There is a reason why we never, as long as we, not that we don't have an idea, don't get me wrong, I have an idea, but just that the exact figure is what I am not sure of. And because when you don't know, you also might be making loss. Now we've had issues where we now sit down, look at our product, each product, I know how much each product makes. Yeah. But sitting down to put them together is what we've not done, which we want to do. Why? Because of investors and all of those things coming to play. So these are the few things I did on a personal ground to grow the business from 20,000 naira to what we have today. Thank you.